Welcome back to Mindful Serenity Yoga with Nancy, or my blog, Waking Up in a Busy World with Dale Lynn, my pen name. Today we're going to continue with our questions and my attempts at answering them. I have removed the questions from an envelope and placed them in this lovely little jar. So I try to shake them around a bit. There's several questions from other people here that I will pull in and pull out to see what I have to answer today. Can I manifest the perfect life? Can I manifest the perfect life? Well, I said these weren't easy. I'm going to take a breath again to still myself and get calm before I answer, because I always want to answer from the deepest part of myself, not the ego. The ego always wants to be right and pretends it knows it everything, and in all actuality I know very little. Anyway, back to the question. I think I only have less than 9 minutes left. Can I manifest the perfect life? This question comes from someone who, I suppose, believes that they have the capability, as The Secret often subscribes to or alludes to, that they have the ability to manifest a life. They have the ability to create their own lives. And though I do believe that we all have the ability to create our own lives to some extent, and I also believe, as Anderson taught, that the source of everything begins in the mind, I do also believe that there is no such thing as perfection in the way that the human mind tends to see perfection. Perfection to the human mind tends to be related to constant ease, pleasure, pleasant feelings, good emotions, circumstances that are favorable. And we all know that life is not just one way. It is not just pleasant. It is not just favorable. It's not meant to be favorable for us. Life is not meant to be easy. Life is not meant to be, smooth sailing. Life is an ever-changing process. If you look at nature, it's constantly changing, constantly dying, constantly renewing itself. Nothing is permanent. When you look at the human body, it too is constantly dying. We have cells in our body that are constantly being shut off. They live a certain amount of time, they die, new cells come in. The body that you have now is not the same body you had when you were 10 years old. It is a completely new body. So, most bodies are far from perfect. We always have things about our bodies that we may not like or feel should be a different way. So even our bodies exemplify this idea that nothing is perfect, right? The mind is far from perfect. So manifesting a life that is perfect, I think, is idealistic if we are caught up in the human idea of perfection. Let me stress that. If we look at nature's idea of perfection, which is ever-changing, constantly coming and going, not always pleasant to the eye, not always pleasant to the feelings inside us, then yeah, that perfection is possible. But to manifest a life that is perfect, ideally in the sense that the mind tells us it should be, is not realistic. And I don't mean to shoot down anybody's dreams. I think we're all capable of getting whatever we want from life. But we have to question, what is it that I really, really want from life? Do you really, really want perfection? Do you really, really want the exterior surface of things to be a certain way? Or do you want to be able to be happy and at peace regardless of what is happening around you? Do you want to flow like nature does and, go from one season to the next without resistance? Enjoying every aspect of it, enjoying what life gives you. So manifestation has been blown out of proportion as far as what I believe, and this is just a personal belief I have, by what The Secret has done with it. This idea that manifests the outer world, and then we're manifesting a perfect life. If we create an outer existence that is pleasurable and fun and exciting, and we got all the goals met that we think this role, this individual we believe we are, and the roles we play will give us, then no, I don't believe you're going to manifest a perfect life. But if your idea of manifesting is to heal the suffering that's within all of mankind, colluding yourself, because it all starts with the individual mind, right? If your idea is perfection is to, in manifestation of a life that is worthwhile, is to serve and to diminish the hold this idea the ego has of us. If your goal to manifest a perfect life is to be able to find peace no matter what is happening to you or around you, then I do believe that is possible. But it's not possible by any exterior means. It's possible by an inner searching and an going inward and finding that stillness, silent space that is within all of us and operating from there. Because that space is perfect. That space is untainted by human egos and human desire and human attachment and human, aversion. It is still and silent and will always be still and silent. And we, as these forms, are constantly changing, growing around it. But within us is that silent space, because it is from there that we originate into these forms and originate into these beings that want the perfect manifestation of life. So I would suggest to this individual, says, can I manifest a perfect life? Yes, you can manifest the perfect life for the greater self by simply reconnecting with the greater self. Can you manifest a perfect life for the ego? No, because the ego will never be satisfied with anything on the exterior. It will always want more, and that is our human tendency. So I want you to relook at this idea of manifestation and ask yourself what it is you really, really want, and if it's realistic in the sense that will it really make a difference to who you truly are, or will it just serve the ego? So you can want and dream to manifest the perfect car, the perfect job, the perfect soulmate, the perfect house. But I guarantee that once you've gotten those, thinking that you've gotten the perfect life, you will soon realize that it's not perfect, because these things are not meant to be perfect. They're meant to change and come into your life and go out of your life as experiences. I would suggest, if you really want to manifest a perfect life, that you start meditation and mindfulness and start coming down into the here and now and out of your mind and back into the body, and start appreciating the life you have right here and right now, and seek to reconnect with who you really are. And then you'll realize that you have all the conditions you already need for a perfect life. Not a perfect ego life, but a perfect extension and expression of life that you are. So let's look at the word perfect, try to change it a bit. Let's look at the word manifestation and get a better, healthier connotation of it, and put that together and say the perfect manifestation for life is a spiritual life where you're centered and stable, aware of your inner silence and your inner space, and you're operating from there into the service of all humanity as one small expression of the life that you want to manifest perfectly. Well, that is all I have to say today. I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for joining me. And once again, namaste.